Alright, I was thinking about it overnight because this deck actually looks like it could be pretty fun and I'm excited to try it out. So I was thinking about it more. And I don't know that we need Hound if we are intentionally using Wendikuru as our flip. Like Hound is just a lot more unwieldy. So I think I'm going to take out the Hound and maybe throw in a Foolish Burial because it's limited to one anyways. And this deck looks like it kind of really wants a Foolish Burial because you can send Hedgehog to add like Wendy or whatever else you want to use as fusion material. Obviously, the monsters in this deck are not one card starters, so it's like not as good as something like zombies or what have you. But just having access through Hedgehog to whatever effect we need in hand, so we can use that with like El Shaddoll Fusion, is pretty good, I think. So we're gonna go ahead and try some hands like this real quick. Okay, so shuffling on hand size 5. Yep, completely random ones. Let's see. So this is what I was worried about. This is 4 monsters, and they all kind of seem like bricks, but the El Shaddoll Fusion, I guess we fire this in draw phase. So El Shaddoll Fusion in draw phase, and we've got a lot of options here. Obviously, we don't want to just go straight into Winda. I guess it's Wendikuru, which lets us send Wendy and Hedgehog. This adds a monster if we send it. Um. Oh no! We can flip Hedgehog to get a spell trap here. That's really cool. So Wendy's definitely a 3 of then. We could go Squamata. I think we just go Beast because I don't know what we're sending off Squamata besides Beast here. Obviously, the choice would be Hedgehog, but they're 1 effect per turn, and we want to use the flip effect of Hedgehog this turn. So we'll go Wendikuru. That's going to trigger 2 effects. That'll be Wendy to special summon from deck, and Beast just to draw a card. Okay, that's not helpful. That's okay, though. We can special summon Grista. God, is it actually even better to flip Grista? That lets us use Wendy. No, I think getting the spell trap online is the more important thing here. So we could do Grista as just like a card to have set for next turn, which would be pretty valuable. Falco gives us even more material, but the thing is we have enough monsters at this point so that I don't really think we need that. So yeah, we'll set Grista. It's a utilitarian option for next turn. Then we can go ahead and set Hedgehog, then use Wendikuru to flip. I guess we could do both. Do we want to do this right now? We would be draw 2, discard 1, which allows us to add send something else from deck. Or yeah, I guess we'll flip these now and then use these as fusion material and end with a little bit different board. We will not book. That's going to trigger Hedgehog, which is the most important to get a spell trap, and then Grista to copy. I guess it's Wendy here. Just like even more material, since we're going to fuse these 2 away with the Shaddoll Fusion we get off of Hedgehog. This is feeling good. Even though we started with a whole bunch of stuff we didn't really want. What were the big playmakers here? It was having Hedgehog in hand and having Wendy in hand. Maybe we play Hedgehog at 3 for that purpose. Just something to keep in mind for tuning. We can summon whatever this is face down. Maybe it's Dragon, right? That lets us bounce on the opponent's turn. It could also be Hollow. We've got stuff to send off of Hollow, and that's a banish. Yeah, maybe it's Hollow here. That's kind of funky, but I think it's the right call. Now we can either get Lev or Fusion, but Lev gets us to Fusion in a roundabout way. So I guess we get Lev because we can use that on following turns as well. We'll go Lev, that sends Apcalone is the one that adds. So go Apcalone effect to add. Here it's definitely just Shaddoll Fusion, and then we can pitch the Molcharmy, because we don't need it, or we could pitch Squamata, but honestly I'm not sure what that gets us right now. So we'll pitch Fua. Then we can go Shaddoll Fusion. That lets us... Do we want to be making Mashariel here? Yeah. It's Mashariel. It might be Shikinaga. That's not a bad call. That Towers? Are you using Apocalyphort Towers as a throne? That's pretty metal, honestly. Anyways. So, the options are Mashariel, so we can get our Void. But that would probably be using Squamata in hand, which means we wouldn't really have something to activate Void off of. Actually, wait, we're going to get two. We have Lev Shaddoll. So, in theory, we can go Mashariel and then tribute Mashariel to summon out one of the actual disruptions. Probably Shikinaga, because 3000 defense makes up for the fact that Lev Shaddoll makes it 0 attack. Okay, that's a functional plan. We'll go 1, 2, 3 for Mashariel. It's going to trigger Squamata, is the only one we haven't actually used an effect of, to send something to Grave. We could send... No, we've used Grista already this turn. Yeah, there's nothing good to send. Well, Falco. Yeah, Falco will just set itself, and then we can use it to summon something else back. That's pretty good. We can't complain about that. Then we can use Mashariel. Void Liberation is most... Is it? Void Liberation doesn't get us a card to hand. We do that. We could tribute Wendikuru, but that's an actual disruption on the opponent's turn. I guess we just grab Schism here. That's fine. Then we can tribute off Mashariel to special summoning. Probably not Window. We can do Window on the opponent's turn, which I think is a lot better. We can get Construct this way. That's really good. Not what we do right now, but it is really good. Wait, why can we not get Shikinaga? Does that one have to be special summoned as well? Or a fusion summon? Must first be fusion summoned. Wait, but this is treated as a fusion summon. What's the requirement on this? Oh, with a different attribute. Mashariel is Earth already. Okay, that's kind of important to take note of. So I guess we'll go Grista. It doesn't feel as good. I should be using the extra monster zone. Sorry, y'all. I am so used to Genesis at this point. And then we can put Grista face down to use its effect on the opponent's turn. And then we can Schism into Winda. Well, that hand felt really, really good. I thought that was gonna suck. I guess if the El Shaddoll got interrupted, this did nothing, but because the El Shaddoll did not get interrupted, this felt real good. Oh, you summon face up. That's not my favorite, but that's okay. Yeah, I was hoping the Grista would be face down, but I guess we could put it face down with Wendikuru when we flip these guys up. Draw phase. I guess we just Winda and draw. Oh no, this has to be main phase, right? Yeah. Okay, so that's fine. We'll flip it up now. We don't want to do any of these preemptively. We don't have room to special summon anything anyways. This is disruptive, so we want to wait on that. We'll go Shaddoll Fusion, summoning Winda. And that can be... We're banishing materials here. We can get the banished materials back, but it's not super duper easy. That's okay. We'll go Beast. And we have access to 2 of anything right now? Not really. We could send something off field just to clear space. But considering this is a pretty controlling deck, I don't think we necessarily need to control space. We want to keep this so we can copy it. I guess Wendy can go for now. Summon out the Winda. Send a monster with same attribute. Oh, yeah. I have to remember that that's an effect. It's not going to see play constantly, but it is a good effect to have. Next phase, they go to end phase. What do we do? That's target a monster the opponent controls, so that doesn't do anything. I guess we can just flip Falco and then put Grista face down. I mean, that's not bad, because then we can do the same thing in reverse this turn if we want to copy an effect. Grista's big, too. That's actually pretty useful for clearing the game. Rules question. If I flip this face down and then back up, does it get its attack back? Let's find out. I like learning. So we'll flip 1 and 2 to book 1 and 2. That's going to trigger Grista's effect to Hedgehog. Yeah, Hedgehog flip effect. That's great. We love to see it. And we can do this in draw phase to avoid droll. Then I flip you. Okay, you get your attack back if I do that. That's very useful information to have. Learning. I love learning. It's my favorite thing. And then we can flip everything to attack, and that's lethal. So, what looked like a pretty mediocre hand, actually pretty good, uninterrupted. And the only interruption that mattered was on the Shaddoll fusion. If that went through, I think we were golden, regardless of whatever else happened, because we had so many options and so many triggers. Maybe that means that we could have 1 or 2 more fusion spells. But yeah, so let's go ahead and just do some more random hands before I make any snap judgments based on exactly 1 sample size. Rematch. This hand is Dragon. I'm not super excited to see. Maybe we replace Dragon with just another Searcher. Because the Squamata is our flip-up disruption. We also have Hell Shaddoll. And like, we don't need Dragon for attributes. It's a dark. Most of our stuff is dark. We don't have to worry about that. Other than that, if this was a better Shaddoll, this hand would rip. Cool. Let's keep going. Yeah, that sure is a hand that is good. Like, if we were going second, this hand is basically unbeatable, right? So, no complaints here. No names here, but Void Liberation reveals Shaddoll Fusion adds us both a monster and a trap, and then if we're going second, it doesn't matter because we're just using Super Poly and Shaddoll Fusion anyways. Heavy on the non-engine, but the engine we do have works just fine. It's probably our best 2 single engine pieces. Okay, I don't hate seeing Hollow here. We can go Void Liberation Reveal. I love how frequently we're seeing the Super Poly because I do think it's going to perform very, very well for us here. Here, Falco. Falco's a little slow, but I don't think it's a huge problem. We can go El Shaddoll if we're going first, which lets us get into exactly where is she. Construct on this hand. Going second, we can Nib to simplify the board state, and then we have Lev and Liberation, which are both very good. Those can both get us to Shaddoll Fusion. Can't complain about that. So, I think we're looking okay. I'm not... You know what? I was going to say I'm not in love with Falco, but I think Falco's good. Just, it represents a lot of bodies on board. This hand rips. I can't say anything. This is a better going first hand, I guess, because we have no non-engine and we don't open Shaddoll Fusion, but it's fine. This one does the... You know, the thing is, I've always thought of Shaddolls as pretty bricky because the monsters don't do anything without an outside source. But this is feeling good. Like, good. I don't think we've hardcore bricked once yet. The new spell, you know, I had to speak, right? I had to use words. And then the words bit me in the ass. So that's the first brick. But so far the new spells have been pretty good, I think. This hand doesn't do anything. Why can't we Super Poly our own stuff? Oh, Super Poly is field only. That kind of sucks. That's okay, though. I think if we tune the monsters that we have in deck, I think this will get a lot better. This hand's great. Couple more, and then we'll go back and do a little bit of tuning before hopping into some games. This hand, Lev Shaddoll's a starter. Wendy, this is all fine. This hand's great. Void Liberation's once. Yeah, it's a hard once. Okay. The card's cracked out of its gourd. If it wasn't a hard once, that would be pretty crazy. I want to say we have maybe 1 to 2 too many monsters, and I know exactly what we're taking out. We're going to take out a dragon, and we'll scrutinize the other ones. This feels fine. Okay. Okay. I think that's the first time we've seen Ariel, which is good. I don't think we want to see Ariel. We want it to be in deck so that we can summon it out whenever it's actually relevant to do so, because this is like a turn 3 card. It just helps in the grind game quite a bit, I think. Okay. Let's go do a little bit of tuning. So I think Dragon's out. I'm gonna have to start removing some of these actually permanently. Is there anything else I care to do? Falco's fine, I think. Hell Shaddoll, I think, loses a little bit of value with the fact that we could just summon out Grista off of Lev Shaddoll, and it feels like that might be one of our more common Lev Shaddoll summons anyways. Do I want to run 11 names? Or do I want to remove this and play like another Squamata? Because I think Squamata feels pretty good, so we could run 2 of those. I'll take you guys out. Void Reignition, you can go probably. This one I'm not going to play regardless of what happens. These 2, maybe Genius can go away. I could take out Hollow, throw in 1 more Squamata. What's our other card, though? We can't play... I guess we could play a second El Shaddoll fusion. We could also play some number of polymerizations. I don't hate that. We could also throw in the 1 Incarnation just as an extra card to send or to search. I mean... I don't know, actually. I'm going to take Hollow out for the first little bit. We're going to throw in a second Squamata. And we're going to throw in, I think, a second El Shaddoll. This hand does just fine. So that kind of is the thing, is if we don't see any Shaddoll names in hand, the deck kind of sucks. If we see 1 Shaddoll name in hand, we can probably get to something. This hand is great. This rips. Rematch. This hand functions going first or second. This is actually great going second and functional going first, which is kind of what I want the deck to be. This is great. We've got Void Liberation, no notes. And this only really functions going second, but again, that's what we're trying to do, and it's a lot easier to make sure you're going second every game than it is to make sure you're going first. And we could, I suppose, I'm just going to be doing best of ones. You can't play ladder with unreleased cards on Omega. But I'm going to be doing best of ones, but in best of threes, we could actually load up a few more Shaddoll names in the sideboard to bring in over maybe some of the Mulcharmies, just to increase the chance of us having a Shaddoll to use our spells with. And also more fusions, like maybe the King of the Swamp and Polymerization package is something you sideboard for going first. If we're going second primarily anyways, you can spend, 10 sideboard slots on going first to swap things out. That's pretty cool. So that should function. I can't think of any last minute changes I really want to do, so we'll go ahead and do some games now. Okay, first game I have ever played with Shaddolls. Let's see how it goes. I mean, we're built to go second. Let's go second. I mean, that's pretty good. Maybe I should have... I don't play Perulia much, but I guess I should have fired that off immediately. Just didn't think about it. First game of the day, and it's early. So, yeah. Yeah. Fuck. I should have... Okay, this is fine. Send this to add a bestial. We're gonna go Fua here. I'm glad they didn't immediately shotgun off the fusion. They go Ash on Fua. That's okay. We can... do we... So here we have a choice to make. We either droll to stop them from getting a card off of Lubellion, or we Perulia. I think our hand is good enough. I'm just going to droll them. Droll does not do a whole lot against the actual Dragon Maid's line, but I think we'll be okay. Yeah, that's from deck. Doesn't matter. Whatever they do with it, they can't get another card anyways. This is pretty much one Omni Negate right now. I mean, that's Dark. Are they making it Chaos Angel? What are we doing here? They could make a Dark Chaos Angel. That doesn't occur. Yeah? Oh, no. Heavenly Spheres, duh. Okay. Erotic Seal is okay. So this is an Omni Negate and a Bounce. And that's it, as far as I know. That might be a Tidying, which is an extra bounce. That might be an Imperm. That makes it a little bit rougher, because we have to bait out the Omni before we go for Shaddoll Fusion, I think. This is gonna happen. Ooh, wait, the Thrust is really good here. Or Talent, sorry. Does show summon from hand? It does. Okay, so it didn't matter that you did that, basically. Oh wait, you're gonna go to summon from hand. We can Perulia this for at least one draw, and hopefully it baits out the show. Okay, didn't bait out the show, but that's a really good single draw. That just wins, right? That wins the game, I think, on the spot. We'll go to main before we do it, I suppose. They can't negate this regardless. Like, there's nothing they can do. Yeah, cool. We're gonna pitch talents, fuse Garura, because we don't have a monster of our own with their two major interactions. And they still have an extra deck monster on board for fusion. Why can't we activate this? Did we do something? Well, we didn't do something to lock us. Why can't we activate Lev Shaddoll? Is Lev Shaddoll bugged? That would really suck if Lev Shaddoll was bugged. Oh no, because we summoned Garura, we can't use Lev Shaddoll for the rest of the turn. That kind of sucks, but we'll make it work. We just have to remember that. So we're gonna send off... I don't have the one that pops a spell trap. We're gonna go Grista for sure. We're gonna go Wendy, I think, for sure. And we can go Beast here to draw. Go Mashariel. This is going to trigger... Oh, we can't fuse with the Grista. Wow. Super Poly got a lot worse here, didn't it? And that might screw us over on this hand. That's important to know. Maybe I just take out the Garura and Mudragon like whole cloth. I mean, I'm gonna know that Squamata. That's all we got, basically. We'll go Mashariel. No, we can add Void. Void can be used after summoning something else. That's pretty good. Yeah, no, we should be fine. Little bit weird. Let's go... What am I adding? I'm going to reveal Hedgehog to add the other two. I wish I could reveal a trap and add the other two, but it's going to happen this way. Oh no. We'll go El Shaddoll. We'll pitch the Lev that's not doing anything for us here. We'll go El Shaddoll. What are we summoning with it? Shaddoll and an Earth. I was gonna say, okay, that's fine. We could go Winda, we could do, check the field. What did we have? It was like Winda, Apcalone. Those are fine. I guess we keep in the Mud Dragon and the Garura, but we have to be so careful about that. It's much better if we just open any Shaddoll monster in hand so that we can get rid of one of their good cards and like trigger our own stuff. But having the option to do that, I think, is very important. And obviously we won that game anyways. They probably quit because I was playing slow, but you know, I'm learning the deck. I'm sorry. That's a good first game. Same thing here. We're gonna go second again, and we're gonna do what we can. Will Perulia in the draw phase. I have learned my lesson, because it draws us off a normal summon for some reason. So now they have to think twice about even doing that. They're playing something Dogmatica related, something ritual related. Gravekeeper. Playing Gravekeepers? In the year of our Lord 2026. Gravekeeper... Necro Valley doesn't stop effects in Grave, right? It just stops you from moving things? Yeah, so that's annoying. If they... I guess maybe it's just stun. It's always frickin' stun on Omega. I mean, this is all fine. We will have to be aware of the fact that we can't banish from Grave for fusions, but otherwise we're good. Apologies. There's a jet outside. Well, we can go... Wait. Controls a monster with a special from extra. Okay, so we would be using it from hand. We'll start with Lev, I think. We can Lev out Apcalone. Apcalone can send... Yeah, because stuff triggers in the Grave just fine. So they have punishment. That's the one thing they have set. I'm not sure that we can necessarily play around that very well. But we'll see what we can do. I'm gonna add Wendy here, and then Itch Squamata. Itching Squamata lets us send something else. We can send Hedgehog, add a monster that gives us more gas, but we're almost out of fusions anyways. Brista's just wholly offline here. We're gonna send Wendy anyways. Let's go Falco, maybe? Yeah, we'll go Falco. Wait, no, Falco can't set itself because Necro Valley. Duh. We can go Shaddoll Fusion. Or what is the most useful thing in the event that we're about to get punishmented? It might be punishment face up only. It is, and it can't check attack if it's face down. Interesting. We summon Wendikuru. Wendy triggers to give us a face down. So if they don't punishment right now, they don't get to punishment ever for the rest of their life. Okay, cool. So we grab Hedgehog. Are they interested in doing things? Oh, yeah, this is the worst case scenario for them. So we're going to flip Hedgehog and then flip the Wendikuru face down, which means that Dogmatic Punishment can't check the attack of Wendikuru, so they don't even get to send, let alone destroy. We have used a Shaddoll Fusion. We have not used El Shaddoll Fusion. We can also now tribute her for Lev Shaddoll. I don't know what we're trying to do off of Lev Shaddoll. Maybe we don't even bother. What are you? You're light. Oh wait, I have a Shaddoll, and they have a light monster. I can go Super Poly. They're not going to activate a monster effect anyways. So we can go Super Poly or Construct using you and you. Construct allows us to send... What am I sending? Again, still can't Grista. I wish I had a way to pop spell traps. I guess that's what Dragon's for. What have we not used? We haven't used Beast. Beast is just a free card draw. Aerial's not bad. We can... I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to go to battle, swing for 28. That's fine. I could go Shaddoll Fusion. Do we kill if we go Shaddoll Fusion? No, there's no way. We'll go main 2. We'll go Lev, Tribute Construct. That's going to let us summon somebody fun. We could go Grista. That's for special summon. I'm not worried about special summoning. Shikinaga. Again, same thing. I'm not really worried about the special summoning here. I guess we'll just grab Mashariel. It's a body. It does stuff. We can get the Shaddoll Fusion back. No, we can't get the Shaddoll Fusion back. That's okay. We add... Right here and now, we can't banish, so Schism's not doing a whole lot for us. We'll just add Void Liberation. I'll go Void Liberation, because why not? We'll reveal Fusion. Trap. Monster. Itch. Schism, because it's not useful to us in this matchup. Okay, set, pass. Do your worst, stun. Because what you did on turn 1 did not matter to us in the slightest. I mean, see, that is hyperbole, because clearly we didn't like having our graveyard messed with. But, like, this is what I talk about. I went on that rant recently about playing against stun players and the fact that they just don't know what they're doing because they're so reliant on blanket stopping you playing the game. That Dark Ruler did literal nothing. They used it for funsies. They whiffed the punishment when they could have used it effectively. They're just like, they don't learn to actually play the game. Which makes for bad matches. Yeah, you can add another punishment if you'd like, by all means. Okay, Matrix. Okay, are you actually playing the rituals? That would be pretty cool. We like that. Yeah, that's okay. If your opponent controls a monster, that's right. I don't have to have an extra deck monster. They can get Calamity and Albazoa. Wait, that... I may not want to go Calamity and Albazoa. How do I remove that, actually, if they do? Well, Squamata. Yeah, I can get to Squamata. This is maybe not a good thing for them to do. Artesia. That's fine. They can't summon from extra deck right now anyways. They can go Calamity... Okay, let's see what they activate. Look at extra deck, send one. Is there anything... I guess I should have just pulled the cord on Winda earlier, but considering their first turn, I didn't assume they'd be special summoning a whole bunch. This is fine. They're probably going to use it for themselves anyways, if I had to guess. Does it say who their target is? Their own, yes. So they're sending Natis. What are we popping off Natis? Or trying to pop? the fusion. I mean, I guess I'll rip fusion now, might as well. What sounds fun? We can go... Target one... Ooh, Wendigo's actually useful here. Yeah, I think it is just Wendigo, right? Sure. 1 and 2. Go into Wendigo. That's going to trigger... Mashariel effect isn't going to work either way, but Wendy effect will. We can special summon... I guess Hedgehog? Yeah. And then if they try to go to battle, we can use Wendigo and say no. Sure. I'll send half my extra deck. Do you think I won't? Because I will. And they surrender. Okay. That's fine. Yeah, I was gonna say, I will absolutely send half my extra deck. We don't need Garura, we don't need Mudragon, they're not relevant here, we don't need Annihilatus, and the 3 that we send can just add us back infinite gas for next turn. Like, Dogmatica's not good here. I'm glad it wasn't pure stun, but seriously, Commandant to search Necro Valley, my dude. Not cool. Okay, I mean, there's game 2. Alright, what do we got? Okay, same thing. I'd like to go second, please. This hand's pretty good. I mean, the value of this hand really depends on how much they play into Nibiru, and since they're playing Malice, they're going to play into the Nibiru. Question is, when do we drop it? Yeah, we'll go end of this chain, because they can get the Adignister guy that gives them a negate at this point. Hopefully, I want to say they've used everything besides March Hare's banish effect, so this should, if not completely stop them, cut them off of the vast majority of possible resources. Unfortunately, they did add the Adignister, or yeah, backup, so they're gonna end on something, but probably not too much at this point. And considering the fact that you just pitch an impulse, weird. Oh god, right. You do summon 2, huh? Banish or pitch Malice in the Mirror, banish it, add a card. What did we add? They added March Hare, but March Hare's been used. I guess they're just planning to do combo on my turn. My biggest problem with Malice is just that their actual combo is too well protected. They get a negate, so you have to use interaction early. They have March Hare, which turns setup into full combo on the opponent's turn. I'm glad that they're like killing it finally. This deck is annoying. They added Baldrake. That's relevant, but not terribly. So, we have a couple of options. We can go Super Poly for Heart's Cryptor. They didn't actually put the Omni out. Maybe we hold Super Poly, because they don't do anything right now. Right? Banish 1 card on the field. Yeah. Let's just banish a card on field, and we can use that as we go. Just go El Shaddoll for now. That doesn't make anything great, though, right? That's making Wendikuru, but it also summons. Yeah, we'll start with this. I think we can use the Super Poly in the middle of them trying to disrupt us for higher value than we're using it right now. So we can go Wendikuru, using double Wendy. Summon. That's going to trigger Wendy to summon face down, which gives us a target for Wendikuru. If they go to Heart's Cryptor now, we can Super Poly. But if they go for the the hell, which one is it? March Hare now? That's even better for us. This adds, and you can banish a card on. You can activate add 1 Malice, than if you control Mouse Link. Okay, I think this is where we pull the trigger. This is probably the best case scenario for them. We're gonna special summon a card face down. I could just go Winda. No, I don't want to go Winda here. We're gonna make the Garura with there too. That locks us out of a couple of particular plays, but I don't know that we were gonna get access to them anyways. What am I special summoning? I don't know that anything matters right now. I think we're just screwed on pure value in this matchup, but what else is new against Malice? That's just what they do. Let's see if they don't do anything here. We can flip Hedgehog. No book. Hedgehog effect to add. We can. God, we can't use Lev, can we? Can't use the second effect of Lev. But we can send. We don't have anything in hand. Wait, no. Oh, you can't activate. Oh yeah, either of this card's effect. That's worded weird. Yeah, so we're completely screwed. Like, there's no way we win this at this point. But hey, that sure is Malice. We're gonna add 700 cards to hand over the course of 2 turns, and you can't do literally anything about it. No hand traps work. Board breakers will break the board, but if you don't immediately kill them, they just win on the crackback. Okay, that's fine. Maybe we'll do one more just because that one was, I think, against us from the start. Is there anything we can do to improve that matchup? Not really. Okay, last one for Shaddoll games before we wrap it up. I have won every single solitary rock, paper, scissors. I'm going to choose to go first this time. I want to see what we can do going first, and that's a really good going first hand, actually. Rip Void Liberation, reveal Hedgehog. What do we got? We can go Lev Shaddoll and the Schism, and then pitch, I guess it's Hedgehog. Hedgehog effect, add a monster. We add Wendy. We'll go Lev Shaddoll. They have something, they haven't pulled the trigger yet. We can send App Cologne. Is there any reason we don't do that? Not really. We don't care about summoning something back. We'll go App Cologne. App Cologne can add any card. Yeah, that's fine. And then we can pitch the Grista. Grista's going to trigger. And that's going to fuse Dark Earth Dark into Mashariel from the grave. Bunch of stuff we've already used. Then we can use Mashariel effect to add. Again, they haven't pulled a trigger yet. What have we summoned so far? Embarrassment of Riches. I guess we'll grab a monster. We'll go Squamata. We can go... Technically, we could go El Shaddoll. Yeah, we'll go El Shaddoll here. I do want to get Wendikuru online, I think. This is fine. This is going to trigger Wendy to summon and Squamata to send. Anything here? Crozia, because we activated a quick play. That's annoying, but okay. Target, yeah, we'll just do Falco. That's fine, that gives us material for next turn. And we can special summon in face down defense. Grista, I suppose? Falco summons itself. Crozia does Crozia. Yeah, that's pretty much the grabs. We'll go Falco. I don't want to droll here. We've seen what they're doing, so we're going to go Fusion, send off Mashariel to summon Some disruption. Barista, probably. We might sit on Schism, because they're just going to force it out in draw phase anyways. Or we go Winda. Wendigo? Actually, we can just summon the Wendigo here, and then use Schism to summon Winda. Mashariel trigger. What the hell is this? Summon, return all face-up monsters on the field to the hand. Wait. Why do you get to do that? Activates a card or effect while you control a wind monster. Okay, so this is just a turn 0 card now. We can play around it, but I don't love it. We're going to unbook Brista and Falco, and then book ourselves. Very annoying. Face down defense. We'll go Squamata. Oh, nope. Squamata has to be face up. Tribute set is kind of funny. We can set. We can go Schism. We have a card in hand. It's annoying. This is annoying, but we can make it work. In draw phase, I'm going to go Schism. Oh, right, because they can pop it in response. That was just a mistake to rip it. I should have waited, but now they can summon Crozia, and we're dead, I guess? The Droll maybe does it. We'll see how it goes. Wow, yeah, no, that's really annoying that any deck that incidentally plays a quick play is now risking better Nibiru on turn 0. Yeah, I've read this card. I thought this card was cool, but I guess I just didn't think about the fact that activate a quick play, summon Crozia, which lets you just do it turn 0. That's pretty gross. We rip the Droll, which hopefully stops them here, but they're gonna clear our board. There's like no way out of that. Yeah. And it also just lets them reuse the Crozia. It's so silly. They put our fusions back. That's not a huge deal as long as we don't die. Because this deck just doesn't put up that many disruptions, if we're being honest. It puts up a board, but yeah, if all they do is go to battle, swing twice, we might have a chance. Flip effect of Falco? Why, yes, I would love to. Would you like to give me another flip effect? This is actually pretty cool. I hadn't really thought about the battle phase implications of being a flip deck. Wendy's going to summon from deck. That sounds fun. I can banish their grave with Aerial. Can summon a banished card. I can go Squamata, which lets me pop one of their monsters if they keep trying. Add a spell trap for follow-up. We'll go Squamata. Pop that one, asshole. This is dead now, I suppose. Okay. Go Squamata, pop. Would be destroyed by battle. It's not destroyed. Yeah, that's not doing anything, but this comes back as long as they have any quick play, which they do. There's no good option here, but I guess I'll hit the Phonics. Yeah, because Crozia, it can't be destroyed. Oh, no, it could be destroyed because I control Spell Trap still. That was an oversight on my part. I was just thinking it was indestructible permanently for some reason. The brain simplifies effects, unfortunately. Okay, we didn't come out of that with nothing. We, in fact, took very little damage. They're under Droll. We've got our grave loaded. We have Liberation and a target. We have Lev Shaddoll. They've got a million MSTs, which means Lev Shaddoll is probably not gonna stick around. I'm assuming this is Imperm. Oh, no, they just go for it now. Okay. And that brings back Phonics anyways. Did they Special summon Phonics from hand? How'd they get Phonics out? No. It's weird, I thought they special summoned Phonics from hand already this turn. And, like, the hand and grave are the same effect, so you shouldn't be able to do both. Win to take Wendy. Okay. Sure. I don't know what you're linking into, but you are windlocked. Oh, they didn't even think about the fact that they could activate it. They just go Hresvelger, shuffle. That's not a huge deal. I don't love losing Wendy either way, but we'll be fine. Let's see. Where were you a second ago? Why can we... We don't have a trap in deck to add with Liberation. Okay, well, we'll call this one here. I want to go fiddle with the deck a little bit more for my own sake, but we'll go ahead and call this the end of our Decksploration. Cool, we got like 2 wins, 2 losses. We'll surrender this one because we can do literal nothing. And let's go close it out back at the deck list. Okay, we're back with closing thoughts. I made a couple of changes to the deck just because this is kind of a fun one and I might want to play it more in the future. I brought back in the one of Dragon. We saw against Stun that just being able to pop a spell trap is pretty important at some point, even if it doesn't come up every game. This is a toolbox deck, and if we're playing something like Aerial for its capabilities, we might as well play one Dragon as well. I also took out the Foolish. I was not super impressed for an extra copy of Incarnation. The idea being that, like that last game you just saw, we couldn't use Void Liberation again because we didn't have a trap left in the deck, so I want to have at least 2. And if we open Incarnation, we have effects to discard to get its discard effect online, which is not a bad place to be. We can send it off something else. It's, I think it's fine. I was on the fence about this card anyways, and the only reason I wasn't playing it is because too many traps is even brickier than the deck kind of can be sometimes anyways. But I think 2 is correct. There's also just times when I didn't really want to get Schism, and having another option for a trap is good. Overall, it's a really fun deck. Let's see. We didn't beat Malice because Malice is stupid. It's just like, you floodgate that deck or you lose, or they, have to brick, and despite every hit that they have done, it has not become a bricky deck yet, which is why it's still the 2nd or 3rd best deck in the meta right now, which is insane because they've been trying to kick it out for a year. So I can't feel bad about losing to Malice when they went first. I can feel annoyed about nibbing Malice and they still win, but I can't feel bad about it. Typhoon had, honestly, just like the best imaginable hand. We can't assume that we're playing against Typhoon and just not play El Shaddoll fusions. That's not correct to do. The argument could be made, I suppose, that instead of 2 El Shaddolls, actually, yeah, let's go down to an El Shaddoll for a Nef Shaddoll. Because if, like, that protects us from that sort of situation while also giving us easier access to all of our various extra deck monsters, if we're going first or if we're using this not as a quick effect, which I did a number of times in those duels. So I want to say that this is a little bit better tuned build, and I might give this one just some more games on my own time. It's a pretty fun deck. Just like, it's very skill intensive. There's a lot of lines, lots of thought into what you're doing. You mess up Super Poly like crazy like I did, which is pretty cool. That's always a fun thing to do. Did we resolve? We did resolve, I think, in the very first game, a Shaddoll fusion, just like we wrote it up, and that was insane. Obviously, we kind of knew it was going to be. Lev Shaddoll, a little bit finicky. We don't like losing access to the Lev Shaddoll. I might just take these out just so I don't run into that problem. But being able to eat 2 monsters instead of 1 is good. I don't know. I don't know. A little bit weird. I'm gonna take these out. Just, I don't know that I would recommend that, but for my own sake, for the fact that this is a build I would like to interact with. You know, we weren't winding every single game. Maybe the core is better over Incarnation. No, I think if we're running Nef Shaddoll, then Incarnation is better than core. I don't think you need Nef Shaddoll and core, thinking about it. And then, I don't know if we're taking those out. I don't really want more than one of each of these guys. I guess a second Grista, maybe. I'm surprised that Wendigo actually came up there. It was irrelevant because of the fact that we had to book our own board just to keep a board because of their stupid combo that they opened. To let them do turn 0 plays, which, thinking about it, was exactly those two cards. No other two cards did that, which is frustrating. But it was supposed to come up, right? Because we could have made the Winda and then stopped it from being destroyed in battle when we knew they had a Crozia. So that's pretty cool. And again, we are putting some amount of bodies on board. Maybe Construct is better than I gave it credit for. But yeah, so a little bit of tuning here. This is the version I might play a little bit more going forward just because I have had fun with this deck. Unlike something like Assault Mode, which just... It's strange how both of these decks are quote-unquote bricky, but this one feels better put together in a way to utilize the bricks that you do open. Whereas Assault Mode doesn't get extra normal summons, nothing special summons itself from hand, so it's like you're stuck sitting there staring at 3 bricks in hand, whereas here it's just like, haha, I use them with Shaddoll Fusion, I use them with El Shaddoll and Nef Shaddoll, and Poly if we're playing that. Like, there's things you can do with the bricks in this deck that you couldn't in Assault Mode. So it's funny to me that this one feels so much better than that did, because I'm more of a Synchro person than a Fusion person anyways. But, yeah, that's closing thoughts. I don't think this is going to be meta. I apologize, but what I will say is you take out Construct and you play this shit in Genesis. We would have to rework the non-engine, and Winda is 60, so you probably take out Construct and Winda and play... maybe 2 Apkalones is still worth it. But 2 Apkalones, 1 Schism... Maybe you don't even need Schism if you're not playing Winda, but it's probably worth it. And then the 3 Super Polys, what are we looking at? 69 points there. You can still play a bunch of hand traps with that. You could still play Thrust with maybe an Evenly or something as extra board breaking potential. Maybe this deck should have an Evenly in it just so that we can Thrust for it and use it against Malice. I don't know. But I do think that this deck is going to probably, with the new support, be really good in Genesis, if still not the best deck. And I might pick it up for that sake. I don't know when we're going to get the Terminal World 3 stuff. That's one of those sets that we don't get at a known time in the TCG. It can be like anywhere down the road. When do we get our reprint set? Like April? So we might get this stuff in like April-ish, middle of the year somewhere. Anyways, I digress. That's been it for this Decksploration. I hope you guys liked it, and I hope to see you for the next one. Bye-bye.